You wanna try this thing?
Sure.
I have no idea how to do it. Shit. You wanna just like fucking where's the no, where's the
Patchnotes.
that's the one.
I'm not gonna talk. I just want to listen.
Why though?
Because I enjoy your guys' insight, and I would learn a lot by listening.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna listen.
We're
I'm not gonna talk unless you engage with me.
that's fine. It's gonna be so jank. Just do it. Do what comes naturally. Shall I do an intro?
Let's do an intro.
I'm gonna do an intro. Hey, Blood, say something again.
What's up?
Say another thing.
How's it going? My name's Blood.
Jesus Christ, that's way too loud. Say another thing.
Okay.
I'm just getting.
What are you up to, Jim?
Just fixing some volumes. Hey, Emperor, say something.
Hey.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, Corvid, say something.
Even
Even though you're not
hello.
gonna be saying anything. Sweet, perfect. I've fixed everything. I'm the best. Just kidding. All right, intros. Hi, it's me, Slippery Jimade, and this is a patch notes breakdown by a guy named Blood. Blood, say something.
Hey, what's up?
And a guy named Emperor. Emperor, say something.
Hi, it's me.
And this is about as humorous as this is gonna get, so I don't really know where to go from here. Just fucking read the patch notes, tell me what you think. I don't know. What do you want? What do you want from me? I got nothing. I'm blaming other people. Hey, Blood, you want to read the entire patch notes for me?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
Yeah, fuck you. Why not? I expected this would be a trash fire, so it's already better.
Content
better than
update 3.10.
Oh, we really starting from the top?
Do it!
Okay.
Oh, wait,
We
I
can-
got it.
We can skip this boring shit, right? Or do you want
Are
it to
we?
be like a full inclusive? No, like,
A full meme?
Delirium is the same as fucking start at the Delirium Challenge League at least.
Yeah. Start the Delirium Challenge League. Let me just, yeah, go ahead.
So Challenge League is a great opportunity to start fresh, blah, blah, blah. You'll encounter a mirror of Delirium in each area of the Delirium Challenge League. Upon touching the mirror, your reality will turn into mist, and your nightmares will manifest. Inside the Delirium, deadly new monsters appear, and existing foes become more dangerous. Pushing deeper into the Delirium will intensify its danger, and grant even more reward. Among the spoils, you may find cluster jewels. These jewels are exclusively available from Delirium content, and can only be socketed in the outer rim of your passive tree. Socketing one of these jewels will expand your tree to reveal brand new passive skills and notables, and if you're lucky, even a new keystone. Like other items in Path of Exile, cluster jewels can be crafted to modify their properties. You may also acquire Delirium orbs from high-level Delirium encounters. Delirium orbs can be applied to maps, shrouding the whole map in dangerous Delirium. You'll also find Delirium splinters, which can be combined to gain access to the Simulacrum. It is in the Simulacrum you'll find Delirium's hardest and most rewarding. With 3.10.0, there are standard, hardcore, and solo self-found variations of the Delirium Challenge League. This is the same shit we've heard every...
Yeah. 12 challenges, you get
Have I
something,
taken
24,
something
you get
that-
something else.
Have I
36, you
taken
get
something
the
that's
shame.
usually enjoyable for you and destroyed every, like, shred of hope? Sorry.
No, we're just reading the boring
Okay,
bits. We're
yeah,
getting to
yeah.
the good shit now.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, major content and features. This is what we came for.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, new intelligence gem, Arcane Cloak. Eats a portion of your mana to gain a buff and take a percent of damage from hits before being depleted. While the buff is active, you gain additional lightning damage based on the amount of mana consumed as part of the skill's effect. This shares a cooldown with other guard skills.
Okay.
Another new intelligence gem, Stormbind. Place a runic pattern on the ground which grows as you channel. The runes slow enemies that travel across them and deal damage in a circle when detonated by the Rune Blast skill. Rune Blast can be channeled to upgrade the placed runes. When Rune Blast is released, the runes...
So you can cosplay Baran now! Pew, 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 pew.
You can cosplay Baran and his minions, but mostly Baran. Alright, next intelligence skill gem on the list, we got Kinetic Bolt. Not to be confused with Kinetic Blast, they're both KB, so
I feel like a third
whatever.
grade school teacher.
Fires
going.
a wand
You wanted
stack that
this.
changes direction
I
and
wanted it.
releases additional projectiles at regular interval. Seems like it could be good, could be shit. Really,
It looks
we need
pretty,
numbers.
though.
It does look very pretty. All right,
You want me to do some speed reading? We're
sure.
Are we up to Blade Blast?
Yeah.
Add a new dexterity skill gem, Blade Blast. Detonate a blade at your target location. The detonation will spread to nearby. I've already fucking lost it. This detonation will spread blades left by ethereal knives, blade vortex, or blade file. Add a new intelligence skill gem. Spell Slinger will active, reserves mana for each link spell, and will cause those spells to trigger at the end of your attacks while wielding a wand. Add a new intelligence support gem. Archmage supports add lightning damage to supported skills and changes their cost percentage to your new unreserved mana. That one seems good, right?
It does seem
Yeah.
very good, especially with Indigo on.
All right, because people are already stacking like mana and shit, right?
Yep. They're stacking mana, they're stacking mana regen, and the more mana you spend gets you more spell damage. Indigo.
Like a mind over matter. Wait, would that be like counterintuitive to have mind over matter? Because it's like chunking. Like if you get hit, it chunks into what would potentially be your damage.
Yeah, it would depend on how much recovery you have. If you have a lot of recovery, I can see Mind Over Matter being very strong this league.
Something, something, something. Second wind adds a cooldown to supported skills. It's like extra to make like flame dash like 4 instead of 3, or is it meant to be like?
Yep.
It
And it also
gives you a
makes
dash
dash
to-
2 charges. It also
Okay.
makes Frost Bomb have 2 charges if you want to do offense-based Frost Bomb.
Does
Oh,
it
It's
doesn't
not
That's pretty
exclusive
good.
to travel and support skills. It supports any skill.
Flicker Strike?
yeah, it would work
I
for
mean,
Flicker.
would it?
I wouldn't use it with Flicker, but yeah, I would. It's
Oh.
good for Flicker.
Fuck yeah, easy Flicker Strike.
Yeah, if you
a,
want it.
a zero frenzy Flicker build. Two extra hits.
I can definitely see it being almost mandatory link for Frostbomb. It's just very strong. Getting to use a second charge.
Add the cluster jewels. Cluster jewels are a new type of jewel. Something, something, something. Everyone knows everything about cluster jewels. And that the unique one's going to be hard as fuck to find, probably. Add the Simulacrum and Endgame encounter acceptable by collecting Simulacrum splinters from Delirium encounters. Take one and a something, something, something. Apparently it's a wave-based thing.
Wave-based combat, you get to stash your shit after each wave and pick up all the loot you do.
Sounds sexy as fuck. Do you reckon Magic Find will influence it?
Probably not. It's probably going to be just like Legion.
Oh yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It's like Legion, except instead of running in a circle, we stand still and they come to us. Oh shit, it's like, what's that map called? Something about cowards?
Coward's Trial.
Cowards Trial.
Wave-based combat.
The endgame Cowards Trial experience without having to go downstairs. Plus you get a stash in the map. I mean,
And
Imagine-
hopefully will not be dominated by Headhunter because they've taken explicit steps to prevent that because that was stinky.
Yep. It's a specific number of waves. Loot's deleted between waves so that you're not supposed to be able to rush them all with Headhunter.
do you reckon it's limited? Or do you reckon it's like 10, like a set number?
I think
They said it was 20.
Fuck yeah. And it would like
So
go
it should
on
be
for a
pretty
while?
good.
And the difficulty is going to ramp up the further you go, so...
Like, towards the end it's just pure chaos damage. I'm just assuming.
They did say they were going to focus on mobs getting tankier instead of more damagey this league, but I'm not sure about Simulacrum since it's entirely new monsters instead of modifying already strong monsters.
16 unique items, including the ones that got shown off in the pretty wing. Where's the pretty wing thing? Is that in like voice chat shitbox or something?
You mean that's the Challenge League reward, Jim?
No. Like the wings are a challenge league reward, but what was like equipped, like the body armor and stuff, is
Oh, the
new
3D art,
items.
yeah.
Delirium League
Yeah,
rewards.
I don't know where the
Simulacrum
fuck that is.
set.
League unique, sorry.
So I
It's
guess
going to be the
that
equivalent of the Blight
Which is
set.
the
That
the
should've been
banner
new shit.
chest piece, and then the gloves that did like ailments or some shit, like chilling
Some-
shock stuff or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
div cards that no one's ever gonna find because everyone's paying for really expensive div cards that like the fucking awakened level 6 corrupted woke shit. Whoops. Added a new type of currency, delirium. What's a delirium mob?
You put
Oh.
on a map.
They make permanent
Oh, yeah.
delirium maps.
That
Make your own
confused me.
blight map, except it's delirium.
Fuck yeah, added 2 new
Yep.
rogue exiles, that's exactly what we wanted. Designed with the input of a talent competition.
Hopefully they're good.
winners.
They
Let me
could drop div
slap
cards.
This new bad. Oh yeah.
Specific div cards, that is.
Slap the new bad boy in here. I'm definitely not making the world's jankiest. Don't worry about it. Okay.
significant improvements to a number of spectred monsters. Many monsters that couldn't be spectred, blah blah blah. There's 300. Is it 350 or 250?
Something like that. 350.
specters?
350 new monsters.
I kind of
Improve the
want to play
appearance of
Spectre.
shocked, burning, caustic, and chilled ground. Add a stash to Einhar's menagerie. Yay,
Don't.
it only
Don't.
took them-
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say don't read that second
No, I'm
sentence
not
after
gonna
that.
say that.
We don't need a soundbite of that. We're good. Move on.
9 new grandmasters and replaced 7. Okay. Added 3D art for the Rotting Legion. Hey, if it's anything like the new one and the Ivory Tower, that one
Is that
sick.
is that the zombie chest?
Yeah.
Or
Level 1 meat shield chest.
Oh, right.
Damage reduction per zombie and like element.
oh, I imagine that's gonna look pretty good.
Arctic Breath, Caustic Arrow, Frostblade, Frostblades, Ice Nova, Molten Shell.
Going
Molten
back to that
Strike
Rotten
Hands,
Legion
Molten
thing,
Ray.
it's like
Visual
typical GGG fashion that they're like, hey, let's nerf the shit out. I mean, we don't know. Technically, we haven't read that far. Necro might not be nerfed. Zombies might survive, but calling it right now, adding 3D art for the Rotting Legion is pretty much confirming that it's all been nerfed to shit. Oh, sorry, keep
This
going.
is the double tap on the next line, Jim. Raise zombies now use animations
Oh,
recreated
no.
for PoE 2.
Oh, no.
So Necros are
Oh no.
picking out back.
They're
Cremation
killing
projectile
Necro's gonna look beautiful when it's be shit.
area of effect is now more clearly portrayed visually, so you can actually see where you're doing damage with
Oh.
cremation.
By the sounds of like the cremation and the Arctic breath lines, it's like they're redoing the frozen and burning effects. I imagine. They
You
could
mean
look
the
pretty good.
ailments or like just the visual?
What they look like?
The visuals of like the skills, because Arctic breath is like way frozen. Frostblades is ice. Ice Nova is ice. Molten shell's fire. Molten strike's fire.
It could just be that they're like, I mean, yeah, they're updating the visuals, but they might
Yeah.
be like incorporating what they've
preparation.
got from PoE 2. Like they said, they're gonna like slowly like from
Yeah.
what we were 3 months ago to PoE 2 is completely different. Like from what I saw at fucking XLCon, from what Emperor saw at fucking XLCon, it's like PoE 1 garbage, PoE 2 this is my new favorite thing. But they're gonna like slowly just make it so it's like when you like. You see someone you haven't seen in 3 years, they look completely different. But if you were there with them every step, it's like you won't notice it looking better. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
That's
I know.
exactly
Shit's just gonna get like smoother and smoother, and then we'll get PoE 2, and everyone will complain that it's shit because there's no improvements apart from the 6 links.
You can now 3-to-1 sextants again. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the option for your portals to appear randomly from all your owned microtransactions.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Is it just gonna stack all of the portal sounds?
Oh,
You know how
God.
there's so many different. Everyone like
Probably.
complains about loud shit. It's just gonna throw it all into one, and just be a clusterfuck. I hope it is. I just love
Nice,
abrupt
we're
chaos.
repeating lines already. Made
What?
significant improvements to a number of spectred monsters, mini monsters, and then it's got the same line again here. Add the capacity to raise hundreds of new monsters as specters, including those found in Atlas influence from league content such as Breach.
I just wanted to
So
make
maybe-
sure.
One line seems to be talking about their AI, most likely.
Oh, significant improvements.
Either way, I'm looking forward to say Abyss Spectres and Breach Spectres.
Del.
Mm.
Breach Spectres especially. Fucking those fire dogs from Zoth Breaches.
Yeah,
Those are gonna be pretty good.
I want the lizard
Uh,
from Delve, the little guy with the light on his tail. I want Charmander.
yeah. Screamer?
I'll probably get those.
Blue Charmander.
is that the Screamer or the guy that
Kinda.
shoots spirit bombs?
The one.
The
yeah,
Spirit Bomb.
Emp boy.
Yeah, that would actually. That sounds
Those would
really
be
cool.
pretty fun.
But I
Those would be
imagine
very
it's gonna-
funny.
Hard to
Fucking
get.
cool.
Uh,
Add
What
a
else is
background
there?
Frame rate cap option.
fuck
So
yeah.
limit the frame rate of PoE when it's not the focus. Okay. Unique synthesis maps and unique watchstones now have slots in the unique stash tab.
Ooh.
Okay. Not the map tab, but the unique stash tab. Interesting. You will no longer be ambushed by Betrayal interventionists or Atlas influence monsters while looking at your Betrayal board, the Incursion Temple panel, the Metamorph panel, the Anoint panel, or while talking to an NPC.
No more
Yay!
getting ganked in a menu.
Pog.
I never had
Thank
that happen.
fuck. I had it happen several times.
I've had it happen a lot. You
I've
open
had
the
it
board,
happen
it
in
covers
that.
your whole screen, and then they kill you while you
Oh.
can't
Yep.
see your own.
Changed our anti-aliasing technique from MSAA to SMAA.
Yes, Emperor, could you break down the difference between MSAA
Yes,
and
well, you
SMAA
see,
for
they,
us?
they seem to have moved the letter from one place.
Path of acronyms. I saw a Reddit
The
thread
M
complaining
to the
about
right
this.
and the S to the left. Very interesting.
Okay,
yes.
Some,
Do either of you know what that means?
I mean, I
Not at
looked
all.
into it when I was playing a completely different game to try and figure out which one gave me a tactical advantage. I think SMAA is like the least intensive on a GPU, from what I remember. It's like the pick this
Cool,
for the
GPU
simplest
improvements.
shit. GPU improvements.
I want CPU improvements, please.
Improved
Improve-
multi-antigen, logic code.
Improved multi-threading. There you go. There's your CPU improvements.
CPU
There it
improvements.
is. Oh, charged, enriched, and pure breachstones now each have their own unique art.
No more getting
It's
scammed.
about time.
Just kidding.
Fuck yeah.
Item filter,
You
color
filter.
options, shaft effects. Okay. Warcry
Improved audio
audios.
with all war cries.
Weird. I needed that.
Can be proper screaming men.
Performance ailments. Increment. I mean, we don't need to read that last line. It's there every time, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Alright, one
Atlas
sec.
changes.
Give me a sec. I'm doing a very janky thing that isn't at all practical, and I'm just gonna import this. Okay, yeah, I'm ready. Sorry, go ahead.
Conqueror presence and their influence mechanics are now spawned deterministically, with progress between each influence map tracked on the Atlas itself. You can see this on the left-hand side of the Atlas panel connected to the Watchstone inventory. The chance for a Conqueror to occupy an Atlas region is now 50% from 33% if the
Ooh.
conditions are met.
Hmm.
That's okay.
Is that like...
One
yeah, go ahead.
one
Every other
two
map.
maps. Yeah. Conquerors will now sometimes grant buffs to map bosses in their region. Harder bosses. I like it.
So kind of like Shaper did before. That's
I
cool.
imagine so, yeah. Improvements have now been made to help progress through the Conquerors of the Atlas quests are tracked. It should be significantly easier to see what your next steps are. Good. You can now clearly see which watchstones have sextants applied to them when they're in the watchstone inventory. Added a
That
short...
was already in the game, I think.
Oh, is it?
Well, no, Watchstone inventory, so maybe not. But in the game, they have a sextant icon if you pull them out of your inventory.
Oh, so now they just add it, so like when it's in the actual Atlas, you can see it as well.
Added a short watchstone tutorial which takes you through how to use and store your watchstones.
Oh wow, can't wait for that to not be skippable.
The awakening level of your Atlas is now the number of watchstones you have socketed divided by 4 and rounded down.
What?
In other words, you will now gain an awakening levels gradually rather than all at once when you fill up an altar.
That's good. That's the one thing that pissed me off from Hobo League was people who got to level 8 Sirus with like 6 maps completed.
Okay, makes sense.
If you fail to defeat a Conqueror, you will no longer get additional monster packs or influence item from the influence region until you do defeat them. So no
By
more...
permanent influence.
Basically, yeah.
My
Improve the
strategy.
visibility of active Conqueror citadels on your Atlas. So hopefully they won't block maps anymore.
The thing,
Well,
you know how
other
it has the little like
things.
the little bar that's like 5 squares, and every second square is like an Atlas juice color. You know that screenshot they brought out?
Hmm.
I think so.
Would it be the little like every colored square would be have a 50% chance to get a Conqueror on it, or would it
No,
be
the
once
fif-
you juice everything up?
I think that's once it appears, the colored square keeps track of your maps done to spawn the con.
Yeah, so the way they want to have it is 50% chance for the influence to appear in the first place, and then it's deterministic which maps have the influence and the additional mobs and stuff, so you can choose which maps to juice up and which ones to not juice up.
Ah, that makes sense. So wait, how does the 50% thing apply then? I'm
That's
so
just to get
confused.
their influence in the first place.
Oh,
So
Once-
whenever you run a map in
if it-
Lexijoris, 50% chance to spawn a Conqueror.
got it. Something.
Bonuses for completing Atlas objectives and Awakening bonus objectives have changed. You will no longer gain additional chance for maps to drop 1 tier higher from Awakening bonus objectives. The base chance to gain an Atlas mission upon map completion is now 35% from 40. You will now gain 1% chance to gain an Atlas mission upon map completion per 15 maps with the Awakening bonus objective complete. You will
That's
now
all a
gain
buff.
1% increased map mod effect per 6 map with the Awakening bonus objective complete.
That's like the big Reddit complaining thing, but as long as they're like putting watchstones in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
You have to do Awakening.
I mean,
objective
the
bonuses,
I mean,
not-
just that
not the
first
map.
line of people going, "Oh no, 1 tier higher, can't get maps anymore." It doesn't matter as long as you're like putting the watchstones in and making your base map drop. Like if you get everything up to T16s or 14s, it doesn't fucking matter because you'll be
Yep.
dropping
Yeah.
T14s or 16s. You can still sustain.
And if you got your Atlas at that stage, you were dropping an extreme surplus of maps. So like,
And I'm assuming they fixed like Delve and Vaal areas and fucking what's the other one? Temple
Let's
map
see.
drops and shit like
Ooh,
that.
a number of changes have been made to Sirus, Awakener of Worlds Fight.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So I've only fought him once.
Me too.
Cyrus's apparition is now more active during the arena phases. Oh goody, so he drops more rocks on your head.
Cool.
Cool.
Fun.
Sirus now heals to 75% of his maximum life at the start of the final phase, up from 50.
So
Okay,
there's
so
even more life.
Strong.
takes a bit longer to kill. Cyrus now teleports away from the player before using his corridor skill. He takes 80% less damage during the corridor skill, and the projectiles he fires now pierce all non-player targets.
That's to
So-
stop him dropping the teleporter. Like, if he's standing right on you and he drops down that fucking corridor, you can just easily walk out of it. But now if he's teleporting back, he'll like the corridor, you'll be dead center of it, as opposed to like at the entrance. Does that make sense?
It's
Like how he teleports you into the center of the meteor wall.
Yeah,
It's-
so it's making
actually
it
going
harder.
to be a mechanic you have to interact with now, rather
Yeah.
than just walking out of it.
Yep.
And also, no more choosing it with minions or totems. He's going to pierce through all that shit, like if you were trying to do a specific challenge or something.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yep.
We've made changes to several sextants that were overly rewarding.
Some of that-
Unedited map
Missed the
sextant
quad beam thing,
modifier.
whatever that was. New debuff
Oh, what?
reduces your action speed and causes you to take increased damage if you get hit by the rotating beam for Sirus.
Oh wow, has larger
So-
beams. Oh, it's actually a mechanic.
Great, I was expecting to farm a whole bunch of Cyruses, but maybe not anymore.
So they've made the fight a little bit harder, basically.
Should be
overall.
right.
But if you if you know the mechanics and you do the mechanics, you're still going to be fine.
I'm fucked.
Nerfed sextants that were too good. The Unedited map sextant modifier now grants 20, 25, or 30% increased quantity of items based on the sextant tier from 25, 30, 35. And 9, 8, or 15 pack size from 12, 15, or 18. Which is a slight nerf to
Monster
that one.
packs, slight nerfs, populated barrels, slight nerfs. Casual slight nerfs to quantum map and all that stuff. Drops, that's all good.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Atlas changes,
Next person.
Metamorph mechanics added to the core game. Metamorph and Tane can now be found once you reach maps. Each map has a 10% chance to be populated with monsters who can drop Metamorph. Tane will appear in your hideout once you've completed his Pound of Flesh quest. He will no longer appear in towns, misanthrope that he is. You can now find Metamorph scarabs from various sources. Each scarab guarantees Metamorph monsters will appear in an area, with higher tier scarabs causing map bosses to drop additional I think they hinted at the scarabs coming from Rin?
Ashling.
Was it? Ashling.
Ashling and Intervention, yeah.
Right.
But she
they
still
got
drops
rid- they
her
got rid of
veiled
her jewelry.
items.
Or they made it so it's not just jewelry.
Yeah, like you drop more things. It's like a buff.
Added the sextant modifier, which will also cause maps in the associated Atlas region to contain metamorphs. A number of improvements have been made to specific metamorph monster situations. For example, metamorphs with only ranged skills will now still attempt to move closer to the player, whereas previously they would stand in place. The maximum power effect on the bar of the right of the metamorph will no longer play if it is impossible for the fight to drop an item.
What?
Added. That doesn't.
The maximum power effect on the bar to the right of the Metamorph panel no longer plays if it is impossible for the fight to drop an...
Okay, so
What-
the
what
way
is it?
You know when the green bar
if there's
fills
only
up?
if there's only rares and no unique in there.
Yeah, if the green bar fills up, it no longer goes swirly
Like
swirly if you
animation?
don't meet the requirements.
I didn't know that was a
The
thing.
requirements being a unique monster part, at least one.
Probably won't glow in his lab either, since you can't get the part.
Yeah.
Added a line to the reward box when the metamorph will drop an itemized.
Okay.
Endgame Vaal side area improvements.
Fuck yeah.
Yes!
Vaal side areas found in maps and those created by placing individual Vaal fragments in the map device now count as a map area for the purposes of map drops and other mechanics which interact with map. They now generate as rare areas, meaning they will always have 4 to 6 modifiers on their area.
Shit's hard.
They can be opened via placing fragments in a map device, are now 1 level higher across the board.
Okay.
I think they were tier 1 to tier 4 maps before, so now they're going to be tier 2 to 5.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And I think the Xeria ones were 5, or the Uber ones were 5 to 8, but nobody put those in. They're going to be 6.
Yeah. And then like the single shaper fragments. I'm just kidding. But if they were something, that'd be pretty cool.
The values on area modifiers are now similar to those found on maps of a similar level. Added many new mods mods that can appear in Vaal side areas, including several that can influence the items and rewards found in those areas. Elemental and physical damage reflect modifiers can no longer appear for these areas. There are now more monsters in all map level Vaal side areas. Monsters normally found in incursions will now be found there. And side area bosses now have life pools similar to those of unique monsters found in maps.
Oh wow, they're actually gonna be...
It's actually just going to be a bonus map in your map.
Yeah. Nice.
Maps and maps.
Always reflect proof, which is great now.
Yeah, it seems like these Vaal side areas are gonna be like
I slightly
tiny
tuned out.
incursion areas.
Did it say that they gonna drop maps? They count as
Yes.
maps. They will drop maps, right?
Yep.
That was
They will
also
drop maps
mentioned.
on your Alice.
That was
Okay.
also mentioned in another comment on Reddit or some shit that they can now drop maps.
Sounds good.
Character balance.
You want me to read?
Go for it.
Okay, modifiers to melee weapons and unarmed attack range are now described as X to melee strike range. The functionality hasn't changed. Weapons that describe their range still refer to weapon range. The problem is, I'm going to read this, and I'm not going to absorb any information. So if you can garner anything from what I'm reading, feel free to tell me.
I think that's just a terminology.
Yeah, they're just
Change.
changing some terminology. It doesn't affect any.
Increases and reductions to reflected damage taken, such as Sexton modifier, the Ugal power now also affect your minions. So minions can't take reflected damage?
You can make your minions reflect proof with investment, which is pretty awesome, actually.
Wand attack projectiles are now considered larger for the purpose of collision detection against monsters, makes it easy to hit things.
Thank God. So, when they reworked the KB visual, they made it hard as fuck to hit things because they made its projectile very small. So, yeah, now it's just going to be easier to hit things. It's going to be great.
Elusive now grants 30% increased movement speed from 40, 15% chance to dodge attacks from 20, and 15% chance to dodge spells from 20. So that's a nerf.
It's a 25% nerf to elusive all around.
There is now a hard upper limit of 75% chance to avoid damage from hits, such as fire damage avoidance found on Glitter Disc. I don't even know what the fuck a glitter... Is that a helmet? Or that's...
It's a shield with
that's the
50%
shield?
chance to avoid fire damage.
Is that the shield from that map where you can pick different shields, or is that a different shield?
Glitter
That's a
Disc can
different
only
field.
drop in the
This
Lord's
one-
Labyrinth.
That's
Yep,
so
it's
fucking
Labyrinth.
confusing.
It's 25% chance to avoid fire damage from hits.
I was close.
So you can't stack shit above 75% because they don't want you to be able to avoid.
You can't
all the
have a
damage.
elemental immune.
You can't be immune
build.
to ailment or of
Makes
immune
sense.
to-
specific.
Yeah.
Scorch and Brittle, alternate ailments of fire and cold respectively, have both had their maximum effects raised. Scorch reduces elemental resistances by a maximum of 30 from 20. Brittle now increases the chance to critically strike an afflicted enemy by up to 15% from 10. Scorch, Brittle, Sap, and Power all something 4 seconds from 2. They're buffing the shitter ailments because no one was using them.
Pretty
Well,
much.
nobody was using them because they're all on shit helmets that prevent your other ailments.
But now they're on Jewel.
We still do not know how hard you need to hit enemies for max effect. So
Oh.
all of this means nothing.
Okay. Skill reworks. Animate weapon. I'm so glad I don't
boy.
have to read this in Chinese now. Animate weapon has been reworked and undergone some cosmetic upgrades as well. The damage multiplier on animate weapon was not applying, we knew that. Whoops, because of this, something, the skill has been rebalanced. Do you reckon someone...
Who would have thought?
Do you reckon there was like a conspiracy theorist amongst the community that was like, I swear to God, no matter what I'm upgrading, the damage is not working. It's like the damage multiplier on the gem just wasn't working. Classic.
I think people just never noticed because they always had 50 weapons.
Yeah, I suppose. You're going to be salty about that, aren't you? I mean, I
Oh,
can't...
I'm
I
very
can't-
salty.
Oh, there it is. I
Well,
can
let's
see it.
get
I'm searching for it. Now has a maximum of 5 animated weapons at level 1, up to 14 at 20. So it can still go
14.
higher. It can still go higher at like 21, 24 is achievable probably, right? With like plus
so
level
let's see.
things.
With one at level 1, it gains one every other level. It looks to end
So
up
you could
at
get up
14
like
or 20.
16 or 17 maybe. But has a
this-
base
this-
duration of 40 that's up. It supported
Hold on,
stuff.
because if it is
It's
every
doing
other
its
level,
math.
no.
Yeah, do it.
The animate guardian chess piece. I forget its name at the moment, but I love it.
Chains of
It ha-
Commands.
That's the one. It uses level 18 animate guardian's weapon, so it's gonna have an even lower cap.
Oh.
Hey, but
not-
you can unleash animate weapon now, so like just self-cast, every couple seconds.
Yeah, that'll do wonders for your
you might
fingers.
not have to use
Well,
Chains of
yeah.
Command.
Yeah, self cast could be back with Jorhas now. That's looking good at least.
Spell I could cast on channeling. I don't know, I'm just saying shit.
Cast and channeling's also there.
Now has a base cast speed of 6 seconds from 6 seconds, that'd be shit. 0.6 seconds from 0.8. Now costs 4 mana at level 1, up from 7, or down from 7, up to 12 at level 20 from 26. Now grants a minion
It's still expensive.
more flat. Okay, I'm just gonna genericize generic everything. Generic. Less of them. They have a better cast speed. They cost less mana. They hit harder. They
Yes.
deal more damage.
hit harder again.
Deal faster more damage, and they are slower.
Yes.
They are individually much more powerful, but you can have way less of them.
And there's less movement.
And they also move slower, so it's just gonna.
I didn't.
They're not gonna feel as good. I didn't want them to nerf movement speed.
I didn't check the jewels. The notables. Was there any notable related to movement minion movement speed?
I don't recall any.
I will check.
I don't think there were any that were significant.
Because that's something I noticed is like they brought in all those minion movement speed nodes on the tree, and then they nerfed them just enough to make minions feel shit again, like for speed wise.
Yep.
Specifically, definitely not talking about Dancing Duo, but let me just check the fucking.
This is
Yeah,
a lot of damage for animate weapon though.
It's so much damage.
Up
But
to 126 to 184 flat fizz from 38 to 56, and up to 48% more damage at level 20,
Nothing about minion speed. Blech.
and 48% more attack speed. That's
so a lot of its problems before were like they use SRS AI. This much is known. So that's their AI works when you have a lot of them. Because some of them will do stupid shit like floating around when there's a monster right on your face if you don't convocate them.
I mean, this is all just because of the whole fucking blade skill, and now it's easier to get animate weapons up and running.
Yeah.
And like
I am
continuing...
looking forward to playing with these changes, but I will be salty until I do.
This just makes me want to play, like, from what I've read so far of the patch notes, I just want to make a Spectre build with some fucking animate weapons on the side, like a Cyclone animate weapon, easy setup, like Blade Fall cast, like something casual,
do like
with generic minion damage scaling, and then just some fucking random Spectres from Delve or something.
Alright, so you could do deck stacking with them. There is a helmet that gives you minion attack speed and minion movement speed per deck.
There's a movement speed minion helmet? What the fuck's that called? PoE.
Speaker's Wreath.
Speak.
Oh no.
I think I've seen this from somewhere.
Yeah,
Isn't
you've
this
vended
really
this
shit?
every time you've
This
picked
is
it
that
up.
stupid thing that looks like a leaf. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
2% minion move. That's garbage. But deck. Oh, it's so little decks. It's the new Baron.
It's the new Baron.
Dude, I totally want to try this. I don't know how to stack decks. Oh, wait a second. I'm just going to take a bow
It's very
build.
shit.
It's shit? Why don't fucking don't give me hope and then take it away so quickly?
It was shit when I tried it a year ago. There might be a chance for it now.
Minion hits can only
Well,
kill
that was
ignited
before
enemy. What's the
Minion
point?
Rework, though. Blood, that was before the minion work, so maybe you need to give it another try.
But they can only kill ignited shit.
Yeah, so
Give
you
them a
just
tiny
fucking-
bit of fire damage.
Is
I'll
Scorching
just
Ray
go
and Ignite?
RF.
Just
That'll
like
solve all my
Scorching Ray
problems.
shit.
Yeah.
Scorching Raid's burning, it's not Ignite. But
Okay.
I just
But-
slap chance to ignite on my cyclone. Problem solved.
You can make them poison. Poisons count as your kills and not theirs. It'll still kill them. Then you can use that to trigger Jorhast's triggered level 20
God
animate
damn
weapon.
it! You just bring up Jorhast any chance you get, don't you?
Yeah, right. It will. It's a great weapon.
Sure.
We'll see.
We'll throw it in the South Park GIF, okay? If that'll make you stop, we'll
to
show
the
it in
patch
and we'll
notes,
just move on.
gentlemen,
Alright,
please.
stop.
We're
Okay.
getting a bit sidetracked.
Okay, wait.
Skill balance. All
Skill
totems and
balance.
ballistas now
One
have
sec.
approximately. Okay.
One sec, I gotta do my shitty thing that I'm dedicated to now.
Are you timestamping this or something?
Time stamping, man. I wish I was that dedicated. Okay, go ahead.
Skill balance. All totems and ballistas now have approximately 50% more base life than previously, with the exception of ancestral totems, decoy totems, and holy flame totems, which had higher base life already. These totems have received smaller increase to their base. So RF totems and dark pack totems are back in business. They got 50% more damage buff.
Back in black.
And base mine throwing time has been raised to 0.3 seconds from 0.25.
And reverse
Very
knockback self-explosion nuke totems that are based, the damage is based solely on life.
Weren't they dead because of a chieftain change? Oh no, they got the
came
boots,
back
that's
with
right.
boots,
The
They got
specific build was dead, but it's always worked even without those boots. It's just jank. But now it's like jank, but 50% or, well, I don't know, if
Yeah,
50% more
50%
damage.
more damage.
You
It's
gotta
more
read
like
this
increased
next
at that point, because it's more on the
This-
life, but yeah.
line. This next line is my favorite
What?
of the entire patch notes. Specific skills, Ancestral Protector, now rises out of the ground, leaving a hole in its wake like a devourer.
Okay.
Why is it only ancestral protector?
I don't know. Why do they specify this? What does
Why is
this
this-
mean? The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
They're building in the
There are
lore
no-
for PoE 2. Obviously, there's going to be holes everywhere. We're going to travel a cave network. I mean, that's
Yes, sir.
probably true.
Arctic Breath. Base projectile speed has been greatly increased. Now has a base cast time of 0.6 from 0.7. Deals 11 to 16 from 13 to 19. They nerfed its damage?
Why did they nerf Arctic Breath?
Less at level 1, less... It says up to, but it's less again at 20. Ah.
Yeah. So
That's-
they nerfed...
That's a huge nerf to Arctic Breath. Who was
Yeah.
playing Arctic Breath?
And they've increased its base projectile speed, but that doesn't apply to the ground degen, which is the main focus of Arctic Breath.
Would it apply to, like, minions that use Arctic Breath? Or is that not a thing?
It could.
Possibly?
It depends on the minion, I'd imagine.
That's a weird one.
A lot of times the skills are connected, like we saw with Spark Skeleton starting to own people when the Spark got. Remember that? That was fun.
That's true.
And instead of, like,
Maybe the-
adjusting the base damage of a specific monster type, which might also have other skills that would, like, fuck up, it's just easier to nerf Arctic Breath.
It's not like anyone was using Arctic Breath.
Yeah,
so.
this impedes no one.
Artillery Ballista now deals base damage and has an added damage effectiveness of 40% from 33 up to 51% at level 20 from 42. That was
That's 20.
Ballista
That's
life and
20% more
damage.
damage.
right?
That's a lot of damage. That's a single target bullet.
No, that's the well, it's the Blast Rain Ballista, which
Yeah.
no one was using because it just seemed kind of bad.
Well, it's got 20% more damage now, so.
Yeah, maybe. Blade Vortex. Blades created by this skill can now be destroyed with Blade Blast. Yep, cool, we knew that. Blade Fall can now create lingering blades. These can be animated with Animate Weapon or destroyed with Blade Blast. These blades have a base duration of 6 seconds at all gem levels. Dash now gains 3% increased travel distance per gem level.
Didn't they say they were going to give Dash a better cooldown reduction?
No,
Or is
that
Is that
second
just from
wind.
second wind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that gives cooldown reduction as well.
New phone, who dis?
Doors.
Hey, doors.
Ethereal Knives now creates lingering blades, yada yada, same as before. Explosive Arrow now gains +2 to explosion radius per explosive arrow on the target, up to
Oh, shit.
12 at all gem levels. Previously scaled as the gem leveled up from +10 at gem level 1, +19 at gem level 20.
So it got a radius nerf, but it
Oh.
It
didn't.
got hard nerfed. Wow, that's
Didn't need that much radius in the first place, though.
yeah. You can now
Now
you can now
Ooh.
stick a maximum of 20 explosive arrows to an enemy. Previously had no limit. Right.
All
So
right,
you
so
Did they
everybody
not already
planning to
limit
play
it?
explosive arrow can dump it in the garbage.
I thought they already limited that. Ah,
They
whatever.
limited it to like 100, like really high.
explosions now deal 3% more damage
They
with hits and
limited
ailments.
its maximum damage.
Do they limit like at the point at which it starts exploding or something? I don't know. It used to be really good.
No,
then
they
nerfed it.
just had a hard limit on how much damage it could do.
Hmm.
It was like 1 billion or something.
Now
It
it's
was
even
ridiculous.
more.
Yeah, they balanced it properly.
Hmm.
Explosions
And
now
anyone
deal
planning to
having
play
a damage
explosive
cap.
arrow can just throw it.
Something more
3%
damage.
more damage with hits and ailments per explosive arrow on the target. Previously, this only applied to ignites. So you could do front-loaded explosive arrow if you really wanted to hate yourself.
You can do poison explosive arrow now, is what that's saying.
Literally,
It's ailments instead of ignites.
blood
so-
solution to everything that's been changed is like, you can do poison. You could just slap some poison on
Yeah,
there and then
but then
poison.
you
That's
use
literally what
Voltage
this
Gloves.
changes.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying it. I'm noticing a recurring theme. I don't know anything about builds, so when you say, you can add poisonous, I'm like, I don't know whether you're kidding or not.
Okay.
Sorry, keep
Alright.
going.
Flame Dash has increased cooldown
I
recovery.
love it. It's great.
Oh, the increased cooldown recovery speed of Flame Dash has been nerfed. Yep, because it was too good. And the new support gem Second Wind gives cooldown reduction. So even though it's nerfed, it's still going to be good.
Everybody's
and-
flame dash is gonna be a 2-link instead of a no-link.
Yeah.
3
What do
lane.
you do?
Flame Blast now has a base radius of 2 from 5, but
Hmm.
gains +3 radius per stage from +2.
Smaller but faster.
How many stages did it have?
20? I want to say 20 stages.
Smaller and bigger at the same time.
Does it?
You caught me on that. Frostblink.
10
yeah.
stages.
10 stages. So
Will that apply to the big boy that likes to one-shot me with it?
Yes,
Sweet.
that will definitely apply to him.
And her. Her?
so it gets up to plus. Jesus, so it gets up to +30 radius from +1.
32 radius at full shrug.
Will that apply to its area as well?
That's a good question. I don't know about
That's
it
a
here.
I hope
Very
they
good
I hope they
question.
tested that because that thing takes up like half 98% of the arena already.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That could be spooky.
I hope we have another Tai where he
Mm.
runs into its area thinking he's gonna be hot shit and then just eats shit. That was great. That was hilarious.
Right. Frostblink now deals damage and leaves shield ground at both its start and end locations, just like light. Now receives reduced cooldown based on the number of nearby enemies at both its start and end locations. Has a base maximum travel distance of 42 at gem level 1 from 32. Gains 2% increased travel distance for gem level. And gains additional radius as it levels, up to +3 at gem level 20.
Can it go up a cliff?
Wow.
Yes, it can.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Frostblink is looking like an actual movement skill now.
I thought it was shit. I thought it was like dash. But no.
Well,
sounds
now
good.
it's just instant lightning warp, but cold.
Perfect.
So that's pretty good.
Herald of Agony.
Herald of Agony.
Go for
Agony
it.
Crawler now deals 5% increased physical damage per virulence you have at gem level 1 from 6, up to 9% at level 20 from 12.
It just keeps dying.
It
Yeah,
does keep
but-
dying, but they gave it max stacks from cluster
Yeah.
jewels.
+5 on one of the notables.
Well, it just
So
keeps getting better while dying.
It's still nerfed overall,
Mhm.
but it has potential to come to
The
still
Lone
be good.
Messenger
It has potential to
Stone
crawl back.
is also very good for Herald of Agony.
Oh, just 25% more damage for isn't it?
Yep.
Okay,
for,
yeah.
minions from Heralds.
Lightning Warp has a base cast time of 0.7 from 0.8. Now has 30% reduced duration at gem level 1 from 20, up to 49% at gem level 20 from 30.
Is that a good
They
thing?
nerfed elusive. Monk.
Like, we're going lower. Precision now grants 20% increased crit chance to you and nearby allies at level 1 from 40, up to 58% at level 20 from 59.
Wow.
So, very slightly nerfed. They made it so people don't want to run level 1 precision just because they can. That's what that is.
Makes sense.
It scales better with level. You're gonna want to run level 20 now, instead of level 1. Pyroclast Mine now fires an additional projectile for every 4 prior mines in detonation sequence.
Welcome back.
Previously, it fired 1 additional projectile per 2 mine detonation.
So pretty big nerf to pirate class.
half the additional number of projectiles.
Yeah.
And a base cast time of 0.18 from 0.25. So once they detonate, they're faster at detonating. That's weird. I don't know how that interacts with it.
Wow, that's a pretty heavy nerf. It only has two. It's 2 additional projectiles base, so 3. So this is a pretty big nerf.
Right. Spectres. Raised Spectres are now level 31 at gem level 1, up to 76 at gem level 20. Previously level 80 at gem level. Even more reason to get max level of Spectres, but that nerf kind of sucks, actually.
That's a pretty hard nerf. Here it is, boys. The death of summoners. Put them in the ground.
Raised Zombie. The number of maximum raised zombies you can have at gem level 20 is now 6 from 7.
Oh my god, such a nerf. Wow, sorry, good.
Zombie behavior while idle near a player is now less chaotic.
No more tippity taps, stompy boys, and
Oh,
night
they
owls.
were fine.
That's not as bad of a nerf to zombies as I thought there would be.
We
But
ain't done yet.
Have we read
there's
Baron yet?
still a chance they're nerfing the Baron, Joffrey's, and or Shaper's Touch.
Slightly confirmed on 2 of those as far as I know. Keep going.
Cool. Shield charge. The radius of the damaging circle at the end of the shield charge has been doubled. The effects have been updated to
Wow.
double radius. Shield charge builds might be back, boys.
50% more rocks to get stuck on. I'm just kidding.
Shrapnel Ballista now deals a base damage and has an added damage effectiveness of 38% at gem level 1, up to 44% at gem. That is a 15% more damage buff, boys.
So
my
they're
God.
buffing the shitty totems that no one was using, basically.
This is the thing I was looking forward to, the Spirit Offering one.
Spirit Offering. Repeated rapid casting of Spirit Offering was far too efficient as a means of protecting and recovering minion life and player life through Mistress of Sacrifice. This still provides valuable protection for minions without it being significantly better than almost every other tool available. So it no longer grants a portion of the minion's maximum life as energy shield. Now grants chaos resistance 20% level 1 to 30% level 20.
Did it?
Ooh.
This has been gutted. Skulls is dead again?
The skill is so fucking dead. Holy shit.
Okay.
But, like, you know, your Betrayal encounters can't kill you as easily now. Chaos res.
Guess so. Oh, and I guess it's nice for the backward keystone.
I have no
It's
idea
chaos.
what the fuck that means.
Divine Flesh.
That
Divine
you're
Flesh.
just saying more stuff.
Okay, it's plus 10 maximum chaos res and 50% of non-chaos damage is taken as chaos damage.
Okay.
It's used as a means to make your character significantly more tanky if you can afford to get large amounts of chaos res.
Interesting.
Alright. Summon Carrion Golem. Now causes your Carrion Golems to deal 5% more damage per non-golem near them from 8 up to a maximum of 50 from 80. That's a pretty fat nerfed Carrion Golem.
This is working in well with some meta shit that I've planned for in the future, but I'll show you in a bit. Keep
Carrion
going.
Golem is still going to be pretty strong because of the amount of flat phys it grants to your minions. So it's just not good on its own anymore, I suppose.
Yeah.
Summon Holy Relic now displays the minion life in its tooltip and has a cooldown of 0.3 seconds on its Nova from 0.2.
Wow.
I've never actually seen anyone use Holy Relic.
Octavian has used it in several builds now, and Pim was using it in Gucci Hobo. Its Nova skill deals a lot of damage. It's like 2.5 times EK's damage.
Oh, cool. Summon Skeletons. Damage dealt by minions at all gem levels has been lowered by approximately 40%. Change isn't visible on the gem as it is a property of the minion itself and does not affect skeleton mages or any other non-basic skeletons summoned by Vaal summon skeletons. Number of maximum skeletons you can have at level 20 is now 7 from 8.
Goodbye, skeletons.
That is a fat nerf to skeletons.
That's okay though.
Yeah, I mean, 40% less of several million is still sufficient to clear the game,
That's
but
like-
this is gonna...
It's like taxing the rich.
Yeah, this
Also
is
not
gonna. Sorry,
ahead.
Goblet.
Talk over
It's-
each other.
it's not a nerf to popcorn skeletons either, since it only affects their damage, not their health.
Mhm.
This
So-
this nerf is only going to shift people away from summoners because they will no longer be the most meta broken OP thing as they are.
They still might be.
They're still going to be very good.
Someone's
and
going to discover a Spectre that didn't get quite the good balanced nerf on its damage, and that's going to be the meta, and GG is going to be like, oh, we don't want to fix it until the league's over, let them have their fun, unless it's a Vaal skill that gives you immortality. Keep going.
Temp Chain, sorry. Now has a 50% less effect against players. Previously had 40% reduced effect against players. Note that this change means it is multiplicative with other sources that increase curse effect.
What does that mean?
That is a big ass nerf to self temp chains.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, it just makes
Headhunter
it
the build is
better.
basically dead with that.
Really?
No, it makes it
Well,
worse.
Solstice
mean,
still exists.
it's just
which is
balancing
fine.
it, though.
Solstice does exist, and it does help, but
It was like 60 seconds, now it'll be like 30. What's the default Headhunter
20.
steal? 20?
20.
So it's just giving yourself like 10 extra seconds or something, or so.
it's not going to get anywhere close to out of hand as it used to.
Yeah.
Volatile Dead now displays that you are limited to a maximum of 60 orbs at a
Rip my amazing Volatile Dead build that I'm still going to play after I get my Flicker Strike one working.
This is literally
It was
not a
it was
literally nothing.
it was already a
doesn't mean
thing.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
But now I have the Volatile. Go ahead.
But it's in the patch notes. You control F'd it and it's there, therefore build's dead.
Ah, it is. I'm so sad.
Vaal skill balance. Vaal Flame Blast is the only one. Now triggers every 3 stages from every 5 stages and has a base radius of 35 from 30.
They're just upping it because Flame Blast got upped?
That's why they're upping the radius, but now it explodes twice to 3 times as often.
So
Yeah, do that math.
it explodes every 5 stages until it reaches a
60%
maximum
more
of
often.
15. So instead of 3 explosions, you get 5.
Mm-hmm. What?
That seems pretty good.
Might be used now. It's interesting.
It might be like if you're doing like a fire spell build, it might be a pseudo 4-link that you're going to use to assist your single target on. Maybe, I don't know.
So you have Vaal Fireball for your clear and Vaal Flame Blast for single target. Could be very interesting. Support gem balance. Ballista totem support now causes supported skills to deal 42% less damage from 50 up to 33% less damage at 20 from pretty good buff to ballistas. It's a lot more damage.
And they get life?
And they get 50% more life, yeah. Feeding Frenzy support now gives minions from supported skills 25% chance to gain Feeding Frenzy to you on hit at level 1, up to 44% at level 20.
More
Previously
consistent uptime.
25% all level.
But no longer causes
But-
minions to deal more damage while you're feeding frenzy. So what's the point? They go slightly faster. And they
Yep.
like aggro. Are they aggro on feeding frenzy?
Yes, they are aggro and Feeding Frenzy.
Ah, fuck's sake.
Unleash.
Go ahead.
Unleash support now causes spells to deal 20% less damage when reoccurring from 35%, up to 11% at 20 from 26%.
Awakened Unleash. Sorry, I thought I'd do the next one and then just not read it.
That's a pretty fat buff.
That's a
Less damage.
thick.
That's a massive buff to Unleash.
Awakened deals 10 from 20. Awakened
That's,
is just
that's- that's-
double as good.
That's pretty good.
What's Unleash do again? That's like to charge it up and let
Wait,
it all
hang
go
on.
kind
Awakened
of thing?
Unleash. Hang on.
Yeah,
hang
pretty
on.
much.
Awakened Unleash now causes to deal 10% less damage when reoccurring at gem level 1 from 25, up to 8% at level 20.
That's probably a typo. It'd be like level 5 or 6.
Yeah, level 5.
Oh, yeah.
I should
It's pretty
Passive
interesting,
tree
though.
balance. I mean, like, because the only thing people were using Unleash for really was BV. That was the main use of it. And
Right, and Spark.
oh yeah, Spark as well. True. Does
Now,
this mean more people are gonna use it?
I mean,
I bet it does because you didn't need a whole lot of you needed 2.1 casts per second to beat, which is not hard to beat. Now that math is gonna change a whole lot.
yeah, people are like, something something self-cast league is dead, blah blah blah, and now they're bringing this in, and people are gonna be all over that shit. Although, nah, yeah, it's probably fine.
I'll work on the math later for that. That's something I'm interested in for sure.
Passive tree balance. The second passive on the energy shield path from the witch's starting location now gives plus 15 to maximum energy shield from plus 10, and the first and last passes of the energy shield path immediately following that passive now each grant 3% increased energy shield in addition to the plus 10 maximum energy shield they granted previously. They're trying to bring ES witches back a little bit.
Well, they completely killed the ES start from witch. This helps a little bit.
All this shit's gonna go over my head.
The One Slinger cluster has been reworked. It now grants 25% increased damage while wielding a wand, 5% attack speed with wands, causes increases and reductions to spell damage to apply to wands while wielding a wand, to attacks while wielding a wand. Passives preceding it grant a total of 24% increased damage while wielding a wand and 4% increased attack speed with wands. Crown of Eyes is on the tree now.
Crown of Eyes is on the tree, but only for wands and shield builds that use one.
Enigmatic Reach has been buffed slightly. Fuck all this tiny shit. Explosive Impact buffed a little bit. Cool.
Oh no, this next one's real big. Ugh. It's been
Shut
moved
up.
it's been moved south slightly. But it's still connected to the same passives. I can't believe that that makes such a bold and such a brave change to the. It's gonna completely Oh, Walson, you better fucking step up your game, bitch, because Path of Exile's coming for that skill tree. Oh shit. Okay, sorry.
Okay, Arcane Expanse cluster. Yeah, whatever. Sure.
Oh, it's been moved south as well. Who could have predicted
It's
such
the
a
Great
change?
Migration. All the passives are moving south.
They said it was gonna happen, but we didn't think they'd go through with it.
Ascendancy rebalance.
Oh boy, Necromancer.
Bone Barrier no longer grants elemental resistances per minion. Increased life and energy shield per minion is now 2% from 3%, capping out at 20 from 30. Oof! Commander of Darkness now grants you and nearby allies plus 30 elemental resistances for plus 20.
Alright, both of these changes are fine. Bone Barrier gave a whole lot for its 4 point.
I never used it.
Assassin Opportunistic now grants 25% more damage while there is at most one rare or unique enemy nearby from 20%. Okay. Ambush and Assassinate now grant 25% more damage with hits and ailments against enemies that are on low life. 20%. Mistwalker now grants 15% increased attack and cast speed while elusive from 20%.
Nerf.
I mean,
They're,
slight
like,
nerf to...
shit all anything changes, nothing noticeable, right?
Yeah, Assassin got a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
And a
Especially
little
from
bit less
bosses.
elusive.
Yeah. Guardian Radiant Faith now grants maximum energy shield equal to 10% of your reserve mana to you and nearby allies from 15. That's it? You can get that 5% on a notable now.
People were heralding the death of Mana Guardian, and this is the only thing.
Healthy might not be a jewel anymore. You know, they could.
We still gotta go on the item balance. You're right.
Item balance begins here. Jim, you want to have a shot at this?
Are you all like getting your throats dry from your 3rd grade reading?
Yes.
No, I just want to make sure that you read shit as well.
That's fair. Physical damage taken as chaos. Fire, cold, lightning modifiers are now mutually exclusive. Sorry, I had a stroke.
Ooh.
Physical damage taken as something modifiers are now mutually exclusive. I don't even know what that means.
You can't Awakener Orb stuff for Fizz taken as lightning and Fizz taken as cold for. You can only have one or the other.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, same with Curse on Hit.
Fossil shit. Curse on Hit modifiers found on rings are now mutually exclusive. Does not exclude ones obtained via item corruption.
I felt that one coming because that didn't seem right that it was there in the first. That it was like enabled. It wasn't possible before with the Elder and Shaper rings that had dual. Whichever one had Poacher and Warlord's Mark, I believe.
Makes sense. Corrupting Jewels can now grant enemies have -2 to total physical damage reduction against your hits as an implicit. Sure. Corrupted implicits on belts, which increase 2 different attributes, are now mutually exclusive. God damn it.
Oof.
Oh, 2 different. That's fine.
That's
It,
well, they all grant 2 different.
Well,
yeah, it means you can't double corrupt your Cyclopean Coil for 12% increased dex.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I forgot it said corrupting it right at the beginning. I'm a bit slow. The enduring modifier on mana flasks now has 30% reduced duration from 25, and now also has 30% reduced amount recovered. Flasks with this modifier are no longer queued while a stronger effect is active. Instead, the duration will continue to expire with no effect until the stronger flask effect ends. All the enduring flasks duration expires completely. What?
So the duration on the flask actually means something instead of it'll recover this amount of mana before it.
Okay.
That's what Enduring Flask did before. So you could pop it at the beginning of a map and have its effects forever if your mana cost was low.
Okay.
I
But-
don't think this was needed.
It wasn't needed, but
What's
I
that?
understand why they did it, but last patch they made this big push towards mana flasks being good, and they were.
well, now they want mana
good.
itself to be good, right? So they're pushing away
Yeah.
from having the permanent flask.
Would it always be active throughout the map?
Before, yes, but you wouldn't have its effects. The effects would last to the duration.
What was
You'd
that?
keep regenerating the mana.
Was that belt that gives you like soul something?
That would end at the duration of the flask.
Okay. Bows can now roll a high level suffix which causes them to fire 2 additional arrows. The existing splintering mod can now appear on low level bows and is more common. More arrows.
Reach of
for
the
everyone.
Council is even more dead than it was before. Crap.
The Tacti modifier. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just an insanely strong bow mod. It's even a suffix, which is
I didn't even know that you could get like an additional arrow on a bow craft.
well, you needed like
The splintering
Elder
mode or
before,
whatever.
I think.
Interesting.
But that's just insane for anybody playing Barrage or Toxic Rain. Blast Rain now is affected by additional arrows.
And split
It's just-
arrow.
And Split Arrow Barrage, yeah.
I only said that just to hear your pain. And that came through for a split second, so it was worth it.
It did.
It was, fucking split.
Moving
Tactic
on.
modifier on weapons now adds 3 to 5 physical damage with extra chaos from 8 to 10, but you get that back on a fucking dual node. Topotante's Topotante's modifiers elemental resistance penetration. Fucking say that 10 times fast. Now only applies to attacks and now penetrates 5 to 7 of enemy resistances from 13 to 15. Existing items are affected by the penetration type change. Using a Divine Orb will bring existing items to these new values.
What? No one used these and they nerfed them.
That's because
These mods were fairly weak as well.
they buffed how many items are showing up in the temple, as far as I remember someone saying.
Yeah, but these modifiers were worse than tier
They
1
were already
flat
subpar.
elemental of their specific like
Ah.
of fire. Like it was the change back in like 3.6 or 3.7 made, because previously that modifier Topotantes was equal to tier 1 like flat added fire damage, flat added fire, for example. After the change, it was both weaker and significantly harder to get. Now it's only for attacks, and it's weaker again.
Well, it's a shit item then. The Guazel fucking blood,
Guadalupe.
aren't you Mexican? Why aren't you reading these fucking things? There's
The
so
Guadalupe's
many of
jewelry
them.
modifier now grants 2% increased maximum life from 3 to 5%.
Did I just
The energy
assume
shield
that Aztecs
now
are
grants
Mexican?
3% increased maximum energy
Sorry.
shield from 8 to 10%. Using Divine Orb will fucking change it. Don't divine items with these mods, people.
Let's just skim over and see which ones of these are shit. Can no longer appear on boots, gloves, or helmets. Something mana, then rather than flat mana regen. Who gives a shit about it? Modifier is a small one. Who cares? Quackatoki's one is 50 to 66 increased damage dealt by your minions from 70 to 74, and the two-handed one is 85 to 94 from 105 to 110. That's a slight nerf to minion damage, but it doesn't really matter unless you were playing the zombie build that got nerfed in every possible way, and this is just another way it got slightly nerfed, but it doesn't matter.
So
because no one's
basically
really
all
crafting shit.
temple rare item rewards all one showcase got nerfed.
The Frostblink travel distance labyrinth helmet enchantments are now fucking granting 50% increased travel distance from the merciless labyrinth from 65 less for everything distance. Who cares? You can no
Nerf
longer
to Frostblink
obtain
enchant.
+2
Base is buff,
projectiles.
so it should be the same.
Pyroclast mine helmet enchant, the +1 exclusively comes from the Eternal Labyrinth.
Another nerf to Pyroclast mines.
Okay.
Was Pyroclast mine that strong?
It was by far the best mine for single target.
Okay.
Crafted modifiers. The veiled modifier. Sorry.
The veiled modifier that grants +1 to maximum number of skeletons and ray zombies can now only be unveiled and crafted on the helmet slot. It can no longer be unveiled or crafted on body.
So this isn't a nerf to Joffrey's, but to every other
Yeah.
skeleton zombie build. Another nail on the coffin for summoners, boys.
It was needed.
Influenced item modifiers. New mods are available on Hunter Influence and Warlord Influence. Another tier of max res modifiers can be found on boots, gloves, helmets, and shields. Quivers can now roll second tier of these modifiers. Crusaders, Redeemers, Hunters, Warlords, Exalts will now correctly obey mod restrictions on daggers and war.
Okay, shit that should have been happening is now happening.
Yep.
Shaper
influenced helmets can now gain nearby enemies take increased elemental damage.
Wow.
That's
Depending on the amount, that could be
That's
really
just-
good.
it's not even depending on the amount, that's just good.
Elder Quivers lose chance to gain Frenzy Charge on kill. Warlord Influence Belts gain increased damage value, slightly higher than stuff found on Veiled. Shaper Influence Belts no longer get increased energy shield. Increased fire, cold, lightning damage modifiers on belt from Warlord and all the other crap can now respectively roll 5% higher than previously. Existing items can be divined. Hunter Influenced Amulets can now gain chaos damage leached as life.
So they added a dead mod to Hunter and Amulets. So
And-
everything else is better.
Yeah, overall, everything seems to be better.
Fucking fossil crafting clusterfuck of a. Let's read
Oh.
out this
Oh
abomination.
no.
Do we
I
want to
read the-
even?
I read the first line and it's bad, boys. It's bad!
Just read the first paragraphy little like sentence bit, and we could just skip everything else. I think.
Fossils can no longer craft any prefix or suffix mods that cannot be obtained elsewhere, with the exception of those granted by faceted, bloodstained, and hollow fossils.
I meant the paragraph above it, but that pretty much sums it up as well.
So no more subterranean mods. So that's percent fire damage on your belt. No more minus res on your helm. No more take increased fizz damage. No more fortify effect on helms.
We wanted to make crafting be a way to get great items, but not the only way to get the very best items. Fossil crafting in particular was the only way to obtain. We've gone away with fossil exclusive mods, except those found on faceted something, and moved them to other sources. So they're still
Oh.
obtainable.
Yeah,
They
they're
can still be
obtainable, you
obtained
just need to
through
craft it
fossil
on a
crafting
specific
as well.
influence.
Okay. I was worried for a second there.
Fire mods went to Warlords. The cold mods went to Redeemer. Lightning went to Crusader, and Chaos mods went to Hunter. And Minion mods seem to have gone to Elf.
Seems fine.
That sums up that whole section.
Cool. Oh god. Sorry, I just took a peek at the next section. Fuck's sake.
Everybody's favorite section.
It's
Unique item
gigantic.
balance. It is gigantic.
Oh my god, okay. Unique item balance, let's just get right into it. Unique
This is half
watchstones
of
now
it.
always drop for the number of uses that is a multiplier of 3. So you don't have odd, uneven numbers on your watchstones. Good for sextants.
Mm-hmm.
The Savior. Mirage warriors created by this weapon can now consume charges to bypass cooldowns. The skill they use is a cooldown that can be bypassed this way. Oh! For example, Flicker Strike Mirage warriors will now consume frenzy charges until they run out, at which points they will only use Flicker Strike once the cooldown expires. These Mirage warriors now have a cool new effect. Right, so your Savior Flicker Strike build will actually
Works.
work now. Yeah.
I was gonna say I hadn't looked into it previously at all. I didn't know whether they actually flicker striked or not. Or
They
whether
would
I
this is a
assumed it
nerf.
worked, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Cool.
Singularity. The aura granted from this item now has a radius of 35 units from 25. Okay, that's that
They're
cool.
changing nearby again, boys. But now we have numbers.
Zephy's Heart now grants Soul Leader for 20 seconds upon using a Vaal skill from 10. Okay. That's
Good.
good,
I
yeah,
guess.
but
No one's
it's also
really using
special.
it.
Oh boy.
I think they buffed Zerfies because they nerfed self-temp chains. I think is
Yeah.
what happened.
Solstice Vigil now grants 30 to 40% increased damage from 20 to 25, and 8 to 10
Buff.
mana regen per second from 2 to 3.
Buff.
The Shaper's Presence buff granted by this item now grants minus 20% to buff expiration speed from 33%.
Nerf.
So this is another hit to self-curse temp chains. So it's
But it's not.
now
Would it be
now it's
that wouldn't work, would it?
what do you mean?
Never mind. Keep going.
It's just like it went from a 33% multiplier to 20%. So yeah, just
It's still good at doing what it does. It just, if you're stacking a lot of that for Headhunter builds, for example, it's not as good as before.
it's going to be much harder to just play as a giant foot on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Tempered Flesh, Spirit, and Mind, and Transcended Flesh, Spirit, and Mind have been completely reworked. Oh boy, I totally wasn't planning on using any of these. Cool,
I was
thanks.
planning on, printing the occasional free exalt for someone using one of them, but who knows?
Tempered Flesh now grants -1 strength on allocated passives and 2% increased life recovery rate per 10 strength on allocated passives.
So already Tempered Flesh lost crit multi.
Yep. Tempered Spirit now grants -1 dex and 2% increased movement speed per 10 dex. Okay. Tempered Mind now grants -1 int and 2% increased mana recovery rate. Oh, okay.
Alright, so first thing I've noticed, right, is they're -1 to stats, but it's not -1 to stat per stat allocated. So nodes will be like 9 strength now.
Yeah, it no longer kills the travel node completely.
Yep.
Okay. Transcendent Flesh now grants -1 strength, yada yada. 3% increased life recovery rate up from 2. 2%. Oh wait, 3% increased life recovery rate per 10 strength on allocated passives, 2% reduced life recovery rate per 10 strength on unallocated passives, and +7 crit multi per 10 strength on unallocated passives.
That's confusing, but makes sense.
So the more strength you take in the area, the higher your life recovery rate will be,
But the lower crit multi you'll have.
but the lower crit. So it's a trade-off now.
So if you have if you want a lot of crit multi, that gem's gonna get you a lot of reduced recovery.
Sounds good
Yeah.
to me. I'm taking that.
It's actually a trade-off now rather than just being great. No more fizz damage reduction though. That sucks.
Eh.
Transcendent Spirit
Life
is-
recovery is still great though. I do
It is
like
very
life
good.
recovery.
How much
-1
multi
dex.
was it recently? Previously? Is
It
the
was
same?
7%. That number's the same.
Okay.
-1 dex on allocated passives, 3% increased movement speed per dexterity on allocated passives, 2% reduced movement speed per dexterity on unallocated passives, and 125 accuracy per 10 dex on unallocated passives. So same again here. Take more dex in the area of Transcendent Spirit if you want more movement speed. Otherwise,
Okay,
it's a trade-off for accuracy.
Yep.
Okay.
Now the best one I think to get changed, Transcendent Mind, gets -1 intelligence on allocated passives, 3% increased mana recovery rate per 10 intelligence on allocated passives, 2% reduced recovery rate per 10 on unallocated, and 3% to damage over time multiplier per 10 intelligence on unallocated passives.
Wow. Okay.
That can be super fat.
Yep, and you're only losing mana recovery rate, which is only an essential stat if you're stacking mana in mana recovery. Wow.
Corvin's gonna wish he played fucking EDE Contagion again.
So what were the main nerf I'm seeing
You're
here
still in
is
here,
you
aren't you,
can no
Corvin?
longer use
Sorry.
Tempered Mind for an
It's
extreme
not
amount of
free
accuracy.
multi anymore. Or sorry.
Oh yeah, so Tempered Flesh no longer free multi, but Tempered Mind was a jewel used by quite a few cast on crit builds as a way of just basically ignoring accuracy, because it gave you
Right.
like over 1,000 accuracy at which area.
You mean spirit?
No,
No, that was
mind gave accuracy before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now,
Now spirit gives accuracy.
but also like Dex builds accuracy.
And spirit no longer gives flat mana. Mind gives dot multi instead, so that hurts Mana Guardians a little, and it hurts Indigon a little bit.
I think considering what they've shown of this league, Transcendent Mind is going to be very good, because you can either go dot multi if you want damage, or you can get mana recovery rate if you're doing some Indigon, Mana Storm, that new support gem.
Archmage.
Yeah.
It's
This
gonna.
Transcendent Mind looks very
Or
good.
even if you're just mind over matter, it's gonna be very strong.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright, I need to step
Grand.
away for like a minute. I'll be back.
Okay. Should we
I'm
continue
gonna-
or wait for you?
I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay, same.
Okay, Corvid.
Yes?
I didn't mean what I said about ED Contagion. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm not playing ED Contagion. I think my build is safe. And I think you're like a couple lines away from my main item being nerfed for other people, but better for me,
Okay.
which means it's just gonna be cheaper, I think.
You bring it up when we get there. I'm just gonna get a drink.
Oh, I'm just being quiet, so I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, good.
I'm back, sorry.
I'm also here, just waiting on Gene.
Oh, did he step away as well?
Yeah.
He went to get a drink. So Blood, I think the build I think Cobra Lash is intact, I think.
Oh yeah. Definitely is.
You're coming up on Shaper gloves that did get nerfed, but not from me. So
Yep.
So I think that's probably gonna crash the price on them, which makes it easier for me to get.
Yep. Well, they're still going to be pricey because Shaper is hard to get to, but
I don't think they're gonna
they'll
be,
be
like,
significantly
$5.
cheap.
Yes.
That's the door of Gem.
That's the sliding door that keeps the peacocks out. So,
Oh, hey, how you going? Emperor back?
Grand Spectrum.
Give me a sec. Let's put my thing up. Wow, look at all that shit. Okay, I'm ready.
Cobalt versions now grant 25% increased critical strike chance per grand spectrum, from plus 30 to maximum mana. Radiant versions now grant 15% increased elemental damage per grand spectrum from 12. Crimson variations now grant plus 7% to all elemental resistances from 200 armor ratings. So
That's good.
These
Mana
are
Guardians,
really good.
did they stack?
Yes,
the
they did
mana?
stack with Grand Spectrum.
Okay, so slight nerf to Mana Guardian.
Big nerf of Mana Guardian. That was like 200 mana per jewel.
Jesus. Okay. So you still only can have a maximum of 3, right?
Yes.
So that's what, 225 crit chance per grand spectrum if you've got 3?
Yep.
That's a lot of crit.
That's a lot of crit.
That's a lot of crit.
That's 135% elemental damage if you've got 3.
135 per jewel.
No, total.
No, in total. Okay.
And 63 to all res if you really want to stack 3 of those. Lol.
That doesn't seem worth.
I mean, I do need resistances.
It's the, let's see, 7 to all. It's 21. That's just worse than normal jewel mods.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're gonna get reses on jewels. Fevered
You're
Mind
getting
now increases the mana cost of skills by 50% from 100.
This
And
kills scolds.
And now grants 30 to 40% increased spell damage from 20 to 30. This would affect existing items except they're all corrupted. You can't reroll them. Blame it, Zeri. Okay, so Endagon. Well, this doesn't really change
It hurts
anything.
the ramp of Indigon. It doesn't change their top end damage.
But also
But
the new
Archmage support's
Archmage
already
support.
going to skip a whole lot of that.
I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about.
So Archmage support, we read it at the beginning,
It uses a percentage of your mana rather than a flat amount.
and it makes it do that much more damage.
Okay.
Fate of the Vaal now has 180 to 210% increased physical damage from 160 to 180. This is that poopy sword that no one uses.
I like that sword.
It's
I
cool,
also
but
like that
it's
sword. It's a
just
fun
not
gimmick,
very good.
but it's not
Yeah.
strong enough.
Shadow Stitch
Imagine the
now has...
brittle scorch. Never mind. Good.
now has 250 to 350% increased defenses. Existing items are
That's-
affected
That's insane.
because they're corrupted. What was it previously? Let me just look
It
this
didn't
up.
have that mod before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now it's
It's
just
like
3.
a colored 6-link.
Yeah, now it's just 2 to 3 times stronger than Skin of the Loyal, plus bonuses per your corrupted item.
It's not global defenses. That's just increases defensive. That would be local to the item, would it not?
The wording is different. If it was local to the item, they would have probably used increased armor and armor evasion and energy shield like it is on that series.
Well, I don't know about you, but I fucking corrupted a shit ton of those bloody things and I never saw it once. Then again, you could just buy one.
It's also a 25% chance to make one.
God damn it.
So Skin of the Loyal, it does specify increased global defenses. So yeah, this one's this
Its
one's gonna be
defenses
weird.
is...
It's a new wording that confuses.
Yeah. But the reason it might be increased defenses is because Shadow Stitch naturally has all 3 of the things on the
Yeah.
item. It's got armor
Yeah,
evasion,
but like,
shield.
if you can look at the other unique sacrificial garbage series, Splendid, the triple version of it has the wording increased armor, evasion, and energy shield.
Okay. Interesting. So if it was global, that's going to be insane. If it's local,
It's probably local.
It's
Yeah.
still, if it's
Yeah.
local, it's still good because
yeah.
it's got pretty shit defenses, honestly.
Yeah, it's got 400 armor, 400 evasion, 75 ES, so... We'll see. Arn's Heritage now grants +2 maximum elemental resistances while you have no endurance charges from 3. Okay, slight nerf to Arns. It was pretty damn good in SSF, like,
It's just good in general as a shield.
yeah. Shaper's Touch now grants +1 maximum mana per 4 strength. from 2
From
mana
2.
per 4 strength, so it got halved. 1% increased energy shield per 10 strength
Got
from
halved.
2%, halved again.
Corvid, were you using a Shaper's Touch? Is that the item you were talking about?
Yes, he is.
Yes,
How are you using it? Does this affect
I'm
you?
using it.
It does
It
not
does
affect
not
him.
affect me.
Sounds good.
It actually it's like kind of a buff.
You can
No,
use
it's
the
not.
Divine Orb on existing versions if you feel like it is unethical to have that much mana and energy shield, because they've called out Baron builds on being unethical. Brought to you by Bex.
I mean, yeah.
Crown of Eyes now causes increase in reductions to spell damage to apply to attacks at 150% of their value.
While I
From
remember,
100%.
completely unrelated to patch notes, slightly related to Bex because Wheatbix is a cereal in this country, and it's basically just a brick of like wheat. It's a wheat biscuit. That's the theme of it. It's just it's bland, tastes like nothing, but it's good for you. It's a cereal, you know, that kind of shit. Netflix man was cooking it inside, and when I say cooking it, he was just pouring hot water on a cereal. Typically, humans consume cereal with milk, letting you know, just in case you don't know. Hot water, and then cutting a banana on top of it. I'm like, okay, the banana I can forgive. Some people have banana with their Weet-Bix. That's fine. Hot water, nothing else.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like
oh, I didn't think I could hate a man more than I already hate this man. But okay, now I do. Sorry, go ahead. Unrelated.
Alright, back to Crown of Eyes.
Thank you.
It's
Crown of Eyes-
not killed by the node.
But also, I feel this buff needed to be bigger for it to be, to what's the word, for the opportunity cost of using this helmet to be affected. Because you can either take the node on tree, anoint it, or take it for 100%, or you could give up your helm slot to get 50% higher effectiveness of this modifier.
The thing I like it for is you can go CI wander with it. It's not that bad using Crown of Eyes. Its ES is fine. But then if you're CI, then you can allocate or anoint Tranquility for percent ES to spell damage. And that's fucking huge. Right?
You could already do that. It's just
You
going to
could
be
already
slightly
do
better.
that, but now it's 50% better. For instacking wanders, I can see it being very tempting.
Yeah. Chains of Command. The skills granted by this item have been updated in line with Animate Weapon. The level 18 version of the skill adds this amount of physical damage to attacks of minions animated by it. This level of the skill can animate up to 13 minions.
I was right.
20.
I was right.
Double 20
Both have a base duration of 20 seconds.
Alright, so animate weapon with half duration at the
Yikes.
respective levels.
But you free up a gem.
Your hasts. The on-kill skill this weapon have been, as typo, has been updated in line with the animate weapon as well, and this also affects all existing versions of the item. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. The Baron now grants 10 to 20% increased minion life from 20%. 1 to maximum number of raised zombies per 500 strength from 300. With at least 1000 strength, 1.5 to 2% of damage dealt by your raised zombies is leached to you as life from 2%.
Damn!
That is
fucking
gutted. That is
I was looking forward to that.
Bad zombie is gone. That shit been Thanos. Holy
fucking
shit.
snapped.
Death's Harp now grants 50% to critical strike multi from 100.
You
You
can
can
use
now
a
use
divine to ruin its and existing death opuses.
Why was this? Really? Was Death's Opus too good? It seems a bit weird.
I guess because it was still +2 prod.
Yeah,
mean,
but it was
it is
also it has like a PDPS of like 10. It's fucking.
There's like so much power creep in this game though. Like,
Yeah.
just
But
like
it's-
generic trash builds out there are getting 600 multi easy. I don't know. I'm all for nerfs, weirdly.
Obliteration
it
now has a
just-
lot more flat fizz, and you can use Divine Orb.
Ooh, okay.
That's a lot. That's a lot more flat fizz.
That's an increase.
25 to 50 from 24 to 30, and 85 to 125 top end from 80 to 90.
Leveling
Obliteration's
item.
looking pretty strong.
Thread of Hope. Clarified the description of the area in which you can allocate passives. Okay. Eclipse Solaris no longer has added physical damage. It now has 30 to 45 to added fire damage and 6 to 10% increased attack speed. What was Eclipse
Is that the-
Solaris?
Is that the one that blinds nearby enemies?
Yes. I know it's a one. I don't know if it's one that blinds.
It is the one.
Yeah,
that blinds.
it is the blind one. Okay, so it's flat fire now instead of flat fizz. Doriani's Fist now has 30% increased shock effect, plus 80 to 100 maximum energy shield from plus 30. Wow. 30% chance to
30%.
shock from 10.
Just
Okay.
okay.
Now grants 200 to 250 energy shield upon killing a shocked enemy from 30. Existing items can be updated, but it won't get increased shock effect. The Doriani's touch skill granted by this item now has 30% less attack speed from 50% less, and 40% chance to shock from 20%. Huge buffs for Doriani's.
Huge defensive buffs and big attack speed buff.
Yeah.
Something unrelated again that slightly jogged my memory. Not about how I hate Netflix, man. Just a theory. I think some of the new items might be like Solaris and Lunaris themed because that's how the lore ties in. Just mentioning it. Just in case I
that
get a
makes
massive,
sense.
awesome prediction boner. I mean, win or whatever.
Alright. Noted.
Might of the Council.
Mind of the Council no longer recovers mana on shocking an enemy. Now causes your attack skills to have added lightning damage equal to 6% of your maximum mana and causes you to lose 3% of your mana when you use an attack. Now has 15 to 20 maximum energy shield.
Okay.
So
Covers
they
mana.
took Archmage support, which was only for spells, and they put it on a helmet for attacks.
Yeah, apparently.
It could be pretty strong, but
Is
no
it-
longer recovering mana is gonna hurt that
What's
potential.
the name of that? Damn it. This isn't going to
It's-
make any sense.
Hang on. Sorry to interrupt you, but isn't that going to
Go
be
for it.
really, really good for Spellslinger? Because the added lightning damage is going to be added to your attacks, but Spellslinger, that damage, or is it KB I'm thinking of? Kinetic Bolt. That, because one of the new things applied your wand's attack damage to your spells.
That's Spellslinger.
Yeah, so Spellslinger. So this is essentially going to like, if you're scaling attacks and spells equally, this is going to double dip essentially. Because you're going to get the bonus to your attack and the spell.
Yeah, sorta, yeah.
I don't know. Could be good. We'll have to see.
Could be strong. The
Soul
item was
Catcher.
previously basically unused except for meme, so
Oh no. No longer grants reduced cost of Vaal skills. Oh! It now grants 80 to 120% increased critical strike chance with Vaal skills. It now increases damage with Vaal skills by 80 to 120 from 60 to 110. Is Soul Catcher the baby version?
it is the baby version because Soul
Oh,
Ripper
right.
is next.
Oh no, Soul Ripper has been reworked. It now has minus 40 to plus 90 maximum charges. And consumes maximum charges on use, granting Vaal souls equal to the consumed charges. It now loses all charges on entering a new area.
I know that's not what this means, but just thinking out loud, it would be kind of cool if there was like an overpowered flask that every time you used it, it forcibly took the rolls lower.
That's kind of what this is.
Not really. This
It's
is like...
But you have a limited number of uses per map of this flask.
Essentially, yeah. And it doesn't say anything about the... Oh, Soul Ripper already bypassed the soul gain prevention time, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Vaal skills
It's,
used during...
it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's
That's...
effective.
I never use these sort of builds, so I'm gonna wait till someone else tells me what this means. Divination card, the Dark Mage can no longer give War Staves as a result. 6
That's
link
funny.
staff, cool.
Yep, 6-link staff card can no longer give staffs that can't roll +3 gem.
It no longer gives mage staves, whack staves.
Yes.
Mages, whack staves. The
Fair
Divination
enough.
card, the price of protection can once again drop. It will now always grant a Chateau map of tier equal to whatever tier it would be if all Watchstones are socketed in
That's
its
cool.
region in the current league. Okay, so now it's just
So
always
it's
a
been
high
future
tier.
proofed.
Yeah. Monster changes. Monster movement speed now has a lower limit beyond which they cannot be slowed further. For magic monsters, that limit is 10% of their base movement speed. For rare and unique monsters, that limit is 20% of their base movement speed.
Vaal Blight nerf.
Wow, yeah. So you can still freeze them, right? This isn't.
Yep.
This is just
Okay.
like getting around other people's ways
Yeah,
of
'cause
freezing shit without freeze.
Yeah, so
Basically.
you can't stack Vaal Blight with Temp Chains, with Hinder, with Maim, and Chill.
Monster
basically.
skills that appear to deal damage in waves, such as the Bat Monster's Screech and Highgate Mines, now actually do. Previously, the damage was dealt instantly across the whole area. Right, so the Screech is no longer gonna instantly obliterate you. That's
Well, that's a rip because you could probably get him as a Spectre now.
That's true. Duresso's Spinning Blades will now play a short animation before they begin dealing damage. Nice. No more taking
They're
half
just gonna
your
appear
HP.
and then they're gonna start spinning.
Yeah, that's good. That was just annoying. It didn't really kill you, but I guess it could kill you if you didn't really have mitigation or recovery.
Delve,
Delve
changes.
Hey, you want to take this one,
Delve.
Blood?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Delve areas are now considered to be the level of the monsters in the shallowest part of the delve, meaning players will not be downscaled below the level of the shallowest part of the delve. It also means that item filters which filter by area level will work correctly in Azurite Mine.
Mm.
You can no longer enter delve areas if you are 20 levels
Oh.
or more below the shallowest part of the delve you are trying to access. You can no longer join a delve encounter that is already in progress.
Mm.
The rate and volume of monsters that will spawn while you are in a city has been in.
Oh.
So these first 3 lines are basically in response to the Lily PK rip. That's what I'm reading. But also,
Yes.
like, these were problems with Delve that have existed since it existed. City buffs, though. That's
Density
nice.
buff.
Good, but it's just the city, isn't it? It's not. It's not the other ones.
So the Vaal City, the
Primeval ruins, the
Yeah.
abyssal cities.
Would it be all of them?
it would be
Just
all of
this
them.
city area,
Sounds
so yeah.
good.
Oh boy, incursion changes.
I'm just
The
gonna
wall.
skim through. Should we just skim or should we go deep?
The first line is already pretty good.
If you're lucky, you can now find double corrupted strings of servitude from levels 80 temple or higher. Many rooms now provide temple-wide bonuses for present-day Temple of Atsuala based on their tier. The following rooms now grant fuck anything reading that. Chests in the present-day incursion temple that are previously contained either incursion unique or a magic item now drop 2 to 3 rare items with architect mods. The poison garden tiers now add larger poison pods, and some contain monsters at tier 3. Tempest from the Tempest generator now have higher tiers and strike much more frequently and last longer. Based on their tier, the survey something room architects for the present day will drop map related currency items. That's pretty cool. The royal meeting room and its higher tiers now add more magic monsters to the temple. You can find, if you manage to find Itziri in there, her base life will be more closely matched to her Vaal fragment equivalent. That's terrifying. Based on the tier, wait, yeah, that's
No,
fine.
that's a nerf.
Is it?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
so the Itziri fragment Itziri is level 80. Most temples were much higher level than that, so they're nerfing her HP.
She didn't give rewards, did she?
Yeah, she gives normal Itziri rewards, not Uber Itziri.
Fragment at 0
Okay.
level 75.
Based on the tier of Armor's Workshop, sequence rooms, monsters in the present-day temple will benefit from something resistances, nothing really cool. Based on the sparring room, something, crit strike chance multipliers, map modifiers, nothing really cool. The guardhouse has higher tiers, more pack size. Splinter Lab contains a breach, higher tier versions contain additional breaches, generic shit. Not already like that. The Jeweler Workshop and its higher tiers now also grant Increased item rarity across the present-day temple. The Shrine of Empowerment also grants monsters in the present-day temple to increase attack speed modifiers. Garbage, 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 garbage. The Sanctum of Unity Tier 2 gives +1 level to the monsters throughout the present-day temple. Tier 3 gives +1 level to both the monsters and the items throughout the present-day temple. Based on the tier of the hatchery, monsters throughout the present-day temple will be increased damage modifiers similar to map mods. Generic quant, shit like that. Hatchery, sequence of rooms, monsters throughout the present day will benefit from extra fire damage in line with map modifiers, quantity, map modifiers, sequence, map modifiers, lightning.
You can just skip to the last one.
Torment cells, something, 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 possessed. Based on the tier of Torment cells, series of rooms, monsters throughout the present day temple will now start possessed, beginning at tier 2. A wider range of strongboxes can be found in the strongbox chamber and its higher tiers. Incursion, temple, crafting benches. That's a cool sentence. Incursion, temple, crafting benches can now be can now be used by characters on the same account other than the one that opened it. That's cool.
So
You can sell
these
shit.
are all very, very good changes. Firstly, if you get shit rooms, they're no longer just shit and garbage and do nothing. They actually give pack size, quantity, and rarity now, which is great.
Ghost room upgrade, being able to sell shit from the last line, I would assume.
That's not selling shit. That's if you swap characters, you can still
Damn
use
it,
the
I want to
bench.
be able to sell shit. Fuck you, GGG. Just add it. Come on. I went from praising you to hating you with one simple misunderstanding.
The map room now makes it so that all architects drop map-related shit. That's fucking
So-
good.
And
They'll drop
currency.
chisels and sextants.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
means that killing architects is now you get an actual benefit from it, an actual reward.
If you're very lucky, double cropped is cool.
Yeah, but it just means that like the temple, yeah,
just
these are
feels
all
better.
just temple just is now hopefully in line with other masters. I also like the Shrine of Empowerment one. +1 for level of monsters throughout the present day temple
And items.
and items, so
Items
it goes
level
from 83 to 84 with all these pack size bonuses and shit. That's a lot of XP,
Yeah.
yo. It's a lot.
Betrayal changes. Ashlyn can now reward Metamorph Scarabs if she has an intervention job. She will now award double veiled weapons and jewelry in transportation, and double veiled armor and jewelry in fortification. The Mastermind can now drop Metamorph Scarabs.
Oh, that was a big one you read just then, Blood. Why don't you take a break and let me cover the next... I'm just kidding. Fuck that, Emperor. You can read map changes. I'm not doing this shit.
Map changes. The copies of Atzeri created during the Alluring Abyss Atzeri fight now have approximately 5 times more life than before. I'm presuming the clones just instantly died because they forgot about those. The bosses of Careblad, Poorjoy, unique maps in general have had their life significantly increased. The unshaped monsters at the end of the Shaper's Gauntlets also had their life increased. Maps offered as part of a Zana mission will now inherit the awakening level of the map Zana is standing in. Okay, that's good. Zana's level is now based on the number of bonus objectives you have completed rather than just the number of maps completed on your atlas. Okay. The Brutus, Mervale, and Weaver map boss equivalents have received the same upgrades as their campaign versions did in 3.9. Burial Chambers has been moved to tier 7, specifically so there isn't one little lonely tier 7 map. Okay. The Monsters Avoid Elemental Ailments modifier now grants monsters 30 to 50 to 70% chance to avoid elemental ailments from 30, 60, 90 depending on the map tier. I'm guessing so this is no longer you can have
They're not
them
gonna
be
fully
immune. Yeah. Avoid blind, poison, bleeding modifier, same thing, just a nerf. The Shaper now takes significantly reduced damage at the start of each phase, which tapers off over 8 seconds. Oh boy, now you're gonna need even more billions of damage to one-shot Shaper.
Wow.
It's gonna be a much harder fight now. 8 seconds is a long time.
You can 8-second
That is a
Shaper instead
very
of
long
1-second Shaper.
Yeah, basically. Death and Tax boss visuals have been improved, now has more life, uses new skills, moves more quickly. That's the only line that matters.
Yep.
Transition phases more rapidly. It will no longer
That one matters.
target. Does it? Didn't it just stand in the thing and then go poof, or was there a delay?
Sometimes it wouldn't run up the stairs.
It will no longer target non-player characters such as minions during phase transitions. Fewer extra monsters
God.
spawn during the fights. Boss now always drops map-related currency on death. We have more extensive changes planned for this map.
Like turning it into a maze.
They're really trying to make Death and Taxes actually okay.
Oh, good on them.
Improved
Well, it
character
has like
visibility.
10,000% boss experience.
Yeah, improved character visibility in Drox, the Warlord's Arena. For
I
who?
didn't think
For-
it was that bad.
Yeah, I guess when a lot of banners are down, it gets out of control. I don't know.
Maybe. Veritania will
Veritania,
now move out of the storm more reliably.
thank
Baron, the
God.
Crusader's mana runes won't stick around after he is slain.
That's good.
Boss of the Vaal Pyramid will now spawn much more quickly.
Thank fuck.
Nice.
Clarified that monsters deal X% damage as elemental is based on their physical damage. Entrances, NPC locations, and spawn areas no longer have ground effects near them.
You know what would solve the improved character visibility in Drox? If they just had an MTX that gave you the red, like the outline that some games give you when you walk behind objects. Just have that like a permanent like MTX you could slap on. So no matter where you're standing, it would give yourself a character outline.
Sounds like some pay to win shit.
It does sound like some pay to win shit. GGG, give me a cut.
It's on League
Is that-
mods, yo. We already saw this, didn't we?
Yeah, this was already previewed.
No,
but
it's only
what you
2 extra strong boxes. Come on, man.
Wait, did they nerf ambush really?
They did.
They did. Why would they do?
That's so rude.
For 2 chaos even. A chaos
Blight
strong
area
box.
contains an additional blight encounter. So you can. So what I'm reading this as is you can have multiple blight
1 to
encounters
2.
in one map.
Possibly, yes.
It'll be
One
1 to 2.
guaranteed and one with a 10% chance.
They could all. They didn't say anything about blight sextants. So the bugs coming from that are gonna be interesting.
Can't wait for the Pirandas challenge.
UI improvements. When you attempt to send a message to a player that's not online, the auto response will now specify which player it is referring to. You can now search for the watchstones with sextants in the Atlas search bar. You can now see all the current Xana map device options immediately upon unlocking the map device, as well as what is required to unlock each. You are now warned the first time you attempt to use a map filter after an Atlas reset, so you are aware the state of your Atlas has changed. Standardize the behavior of instant skills bound to left mouse or any button that is held thusly. All non-Vaal guard skills, Blood Rage, Detonate Mines, Convocation, Phase Run, Vortex, Summon, Doger's Effigy, Focus, Brand Recall, and Withering Step will repeat as long as you hold the button down. Berserk, Frostblink, and Deathmark will repeat as long as you hold the button down while you also have attack and play set. Throw Flare and Throw Dynamite will only be used once if you hold the button down. All auras and other reservation skills, Righteous Fire, Vaal Righteous Fire, Plague Bearer, and Vaal Molten Shell will only be used once, but also require that you have attack and...
I was very proud of your fast reading for that first section.
What does this mean? Hello?
I didn't know you could just hold down the button and spam out flares and dynamite.
Neither.
I didn't know you could allocate them to left and right click.
Huh.
So,
Quest rewards. Okay, so what were you gonna say?
so I used it for phase run, right? You could allocate phase run to left click and it just triggers off cooldown.
It is. I hated that so much.
Can I read quest rewards?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Wait one sec.
Kinetic
Just
bolt.
wait. Okay, go.
Kinetic Bolt is now offered to the Witch for completing Enemy at the Gate and can be purchased from Nessa by the Shadow and Ranger and Scion. Arcane Cloak is now offered to the Witch, Templar and Shadow for completing Intruders in Black and can be purchased from Yenna by the Scion. Blade Blast is now offered to the Shadow instead of Frenzy for completing Intruders in Black and can be purchased from Yenna by the Templar, Witch, Ranger, and Scion. Spellslinger is now offered to the Witch for completing Lost in Love and can be purchased from Clarissa by the Templar, Shadow, and Scion. Stormbind is now offered to the Witch and Templar instead of Vortex for completing Sever to the Right Hand and can be purchased from Clarissa by the Shadow and Scion. Archmage is now offered to the Witch, Templar, Shadow for completing a Fixture of Fate and can be purchased by the Book Guy in Scion. Second Wind is now offered Siosa. Thank you. Siosa by the Scion. Second Wind is now offered to the Ranger and Scion instead of Fire Penetration for completing a Fixture of Fate and can be purchased from Siosa by all classes except Marauder, because fuck you, Marauder.
Oh.
Oh.
That was fun.
We don't have anyone here to represent the PvP audience, so we can just skip that section.
Quick, call Des.
Nah. God, I don't want to read bug fixes.
The
It's
rest of it is bug fixes.
it's quite a wall.
Hey, bug fixes. Guess what? They
Fix
fixed
the
some bugs.
Trash caused by Insanity. The
Yep. That's the end of the patch reading. It was a bit clunky, but we got there.
Yeah, it was the best patch reading I've ever done.
What was your highlights? I don't even remember anything. You know what my highlight was? There was absolutely zero mention of Impale, and that's what I'm playing, so fuck everyone else.
Yeah! Oops,
Although,
sorry.
everyone's playing
surprised-
Impale.
I keep
There
seeing
is zero
everybody expect like that they were expecting Impale nerfs, but Impale's the thing that's keeping Fizz builds alive. I don't see
Yeah.
it being nerfed anytime soon.
Okay. I was just skim reading through these bug fixes. Fixed a number of skips and exploits in the labyrinth.
Hmm.
Ooh,
By banning
That's
that
a
one guy.
again,
That's a saucy minx right there.
the dude's name is fucking You Cannot Win. I hate him.
But
Randomly
yeah,
read the
I'm looking
bugs.
forward to this patch. I think I am locked in on Cobra Lash. We are locked in to go.
Cool.
I just need to find out leveling jewels because it's not a good leveling skill. I don't think.
It's a fine.
You
level.
want static electricity.
Static electricity.
Yep.
That's not a skill.
It's a jewel. It's for leveling. It's literally what you just asked for.
I'm just control effing a bug I reported ages ago. It hasn't shown up to be fixed, but it's been a version of it that happened in Metamorph. It was a bug that came out like 8 months ago that I found it and I bug reported it. I even talked to a guy at ExileCon who worked for GGG in the section that read the forums for the bug reports and was like, "Oh, I didn't see that out there. I'll fucking write this down. I'll check it." And then it showed up again in Metamorph, and they fixed the Metamorph version, but not the original version. Fuck this.
They also didn't fix Oro's sacrifice not working with Cyclone.
Oh.
That's fun.
What do you mean not working with Cyclone?
So it's supposed to generate a frenzy every time it ignites, right?
Mm.
With Cyclone, it will generate one frenzy, and it will only generate that one frenzy until it's gone, and then it generates another. So you're basically capped at one unless you spam right click.
Fixed a bug which caused the cliffs in the ledge to appear, as one QA member put it, baby smooth.
Oh,
What?
fixed the bug where map bosses slain by Elder Guardians wouldn't drop Metamorph organs. They still won't, but that's just because the Elder Guardians will instead. Confirmed? Put the Purifier in the fucking box!
That's literally what I was just screaming about, by the way.
What?
Fucking Elder showing up and doing the suck on a map boss could kill any well, still can, well, not anymore because Elder doesn't, or Shaper and Elder don't really show up anymore. But if you do an Elder Guardian map and it doesn't, it's not an occurrence anymore. Basically, if there was a beast in that room, it would get killed by Shaper or Elder, and then you wouldn't be able to like throw a resurrection net on it because
Oh, is
fucking
that how it
Ailment
happened?
doesn't know how to do that. So I just had a beast, and I'm like, just looking at its corpse on the floor, I'm like, well, this is like the saddest moment of my life, because he's dead and I can't do anything about it.
Oh, this is another one that actually might mean something. Fix a bug where the Warlord would keep his damage reduction effects longer than he should have.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Because he would take the longest to kill for ED.
Ah, this is another one I encountered. Fix the bug where the Redeemer could invisibly use a skill if you hit her just before her dash. She fucking did this to me. She invisibly teleport slammed onto me, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Blood, we are still leveling together, yes?
Sure.
Oh, this is another one.
You sound less excited now.
Fix the
Okay.
bug where Vipers would linger after Al Hesman's defeat. No more fucking snakes shooting shit at you while you loot.
Did they
Ooh.
fix the bug where Electric's man's floor is no longer electric after he dies?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was not in the bug fixes, but it was higher.
Okay. Holy
It
shit.
technically
that's
wasn't a bug.
Oh.
You
But
know
Blood,
what
we don't
is a
have to
bug?
level together. It's okay. We don't
Hey,
have
who are we
not
gonna
jazzed
give
about
all
it.
of our fucking
Hmm?
shit to, our influenced stuff? Shotnut, etc.
But Emperor, you leveled Cobra Lash, so what? Cobra Lash added lightning, and then what? Lesser multiple projectiles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just do damage. Put on the thing that
Just
makes you deal damage. Maybe probably use added cold as well, since you're just stacking flat ally, and you won't be specifically scaling a certain element. You just want to have flat added damage, so get like Wake of Destruction, Prism Weave, use added cold, added light, shit like that.
okay.
Shit, where was this thing I was gonna read again? Fix the bug where weapons with focus summoned by chains of command would cause the client to crash. I don't know if you ever encountered that part.
Sorry, what?
Fix the bug where weapons with focus summoned by chains of command would cause the client to crash.
Oh no, I never made a weapons with a focus mod. That's funny.
Fix the bug where Mirage Warriors created by the Savior would not attack your target if you were using a channeled ability such as Cyclone.
I made a spider.
Fix the bug where Elder and Shaper mods added cold fire lightning damage to spells and attacks was unaffected by catalyst.
Fix the bug where Sirus would leave his arena and wouldn't return. He will now return.
Oh well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this 2-hour recording, but fuck, I'm just gonna throw it into that thing that edits out silence, and then just upload an abomination of a speedy boy
Oh god, it's
video.
gonna be really bad then.
People gonna love that shit, probably. But letting people know that it took exactly 2 hours, so however long this video is, that's how much I saved, edited out. I definitely manually edited all of that out, and you're welcome.
Fix the bug where Einhar would lose his nerve just before the malformation boss room, causing you to go in alone. Einhar is very brave. I love these little fucking post notes they put in.
I'm gonna get some water, baby.
Okay.